Hi guys, I'll be talking about Juneteenth, what it symbolizes, why it is just gaining prominence, and how I think we should treat it moving forward. I am Hassan. Welcome to Astropods. All right. So a brief history about June 19th. June 19th, also known as Freedom, Black Independence, and Emancipation Day, was a day in 1865 when Union Army Major General Gordon Granger read out Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, abolishing slavery on a plantation in Galveston, Texas. We have to keep in mind that the proclamation had been signed by the president more than 2 years earlier, but had little effect on enslaved African Americans in the Confederate territories. Slavery was later outlawed by the 13th Amendment ratifications. June 19 is now the federal holiday, although for the 6 states, including Washington, D.C., marks it. Now, that takes me to my second point. So, why is it just gaining prominence now? Why do we have a lot of celebration or reaction now? I've been in this country for a while now, but it has never really been like this. Reasons we can, sort of understand, but it's also good for us to really just talk about it a little bit. So we've had killing of black people. Killing of black people has been front and center by the police, and so following a series of events that have caused nationwide unrest after the painful deaths of Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, and recently Rayshard Brooks, the American people seem to have had enough, and they are on the street protesting, or we are on the street protesting systemic injustice, police brutality, and economic disadvantage of the black people. This movement has since taken a life of its own. Has since taken on a life of its own. With global protests and people chanting Black Lives Matter all over the world. Now, so we have that killing going on. We also have to understand that this is a time where we have sort of the COVID-19. According to statistics, is killing a lot of black people in America, far more than any other race, and that's another reason why we should be upset that whenever anything breaks out, So we have we have police killing us. We have a very bad novel disease killing us in coronavirus killing us by a lot of margin, actually. Not forgetting that the COVID-19 pandemic disproportionately kills black people more than other races, and reasons are not far-fetched, like poor living conditions, poverty, pre-existing medical conditions like asthma, diabetes, heart disease, to mention a few, affect black people greatly. Some say due to the nature of our jobs, because many black people do menial jobs like security, driving, food delivery, and so on. That puts us in front line. So when any pandemic or viral disease breaks out, we get it first. We just get it first because we are always out there. We have to go out to earn a living. We have to go out to make ends meet. So if you have to go and interact with people, because that's what you can do. You are the skill set that you have, or what the society will accept from you. It's for you to go out and work. I remember sometime when I was looking for a job opportunity, I was looking for a particular post, and the GM of this building was of that particular hotel. It was a hotel. Was telling me then that they cannot give me that job. That they would rather have me work doorman And I was like, no, my qualification actually puts me to do this job. So a lot of us, not that we don't have the skills, but we are all like put in that position. Like this, we know you got the skills, but this is what we're gonna give you. You're gonna do doorman. You're gonna do security. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. And some of us have got no choice. We just got to just roll with it, roll with whatever hands we are given. So this is the thing that is affecting our black community and black people, and that's why I said that when this broke out, it was a big thing in the black communities because our jobs is mainly security, frontline jobs, basically frontline jobs. You know, even when it comes to home health aid, we are the one that is taking care of these old people, so frontline jobs that you have to contact people, you have to touch people. Mostly you see African Americans doing menial jobs and black people in general. So there's that going on. So there's it's like something's already brewing, and the killing of black people by the police, just flagrant disrespect to the human life, is just unapologetic and is unacceptable. Now we have Mr. Trump with his own spin on it. Everything you have to have Trump put his own spin on it. Now Trump's campaign rally. President Trump had scheduled his first rally since the outbreak for June 19 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but was told that will leave a bitter taste in the mouth of the African Americans who are not only hurting but are on the street alongside their white friends protesting for justice and fairness. And I've not really heard much from their president concerning their pleas. So Trump cancelled. He had a Twitter statement saying that he loved his African American friends. Told him to cancel, and they made him understand the significance of the Greenwood massacre. I wouldn't say he does not know that. I think he knows that, but probably getting the backlash he got, it was like, okay, maybe I have to cancel that. At the time where the country is really protesting, like we have people occupying places in Seattle. We have everyday protests going on for weeks now, so it was just right for him to cancel that. But that leads me to my next point, actually. However, the date has never really been a big deal in the American culture until Trump amplified it. Exactly. Because one, Tulsa, Oklahoma in June 1921 was a very bad memory. It was a very bad memory for blacks, considering that was where the Black Wall Street was destroyed by some white mobs. We had lives, hundreds of people died, and properties worth in millions and millions of dollars destroyed. The effect of that very day, 1921, has never been rectified till this day. Hence, black impoverishment. Because think about it, we have a situation in 1921 where the Black Wall Street was destroyed, burned to the ground. We have area assault and land assault on black community over the assault of a lady called Sarah Page, if I'm not mistaken, and the government of Oklahoma, or the government of America, never deemed it fit that they should compensate those who have lost lives and property. Till this very day, they have never done anything to right the wrongs of that event, that ugly event, that is single-handedly the most violent racial attack in American history. It has never been rectified. Now, that's when you see black people being poor, non-educated, you can always trace it to some way. Now, secondly, is June 19. June 19, like I said, is a historic day that marks the emancipation of African American slaves. Now, suddenly the nation is awakened to the historic relevance of the date, thanks in part to the protest and to Mr. Trump for amplifying it. Now we're gonna take it. Now we're gonna run with it because we know this. We already know this things to be fact. We know this is from time. We know this, but we never really sort of find any reason to go out of our way to actually celebrate it. Maybe because we feel like we are still in bondage, in some sort of in a way, whatever the reason is. But now we can say that the re-education of the black mind, the reawakening of the black people, we now know that these things are true, and we have to celebrate it. And I'm impressed, which I think is a segue to my third point. And in terms of how I suggest we should celebrate June 19th moving forward, I think it should be a day of reflection. It can also mark an inflection, if you ask me. I think, we have this information, we have this knowledge, we have this understanding of what is going on. We have an obligation to use that to reflect on where we are coming from, where we are, and where we should be as a people. We have to appreciate the people, all Americans, whites and everybody that have also sacrificed in one way or another for the cause of justice, fairness, and equality and equity, if you ask me. I am totally impressed in the fight and recognition of the significance of the date. I see Jack Dorsey of Twitter always leading the way. I appreciate the liberal and progressive norms of Vox Media. I see Nike, New York Times, Spotify, JCPenney, and the National Football League all formalizing the holiday. I see others like Facebook, MasterCard observing the day and encouraging their employees to educate themselves on the history of black people or volunteer with a civil rights organization. I see all of these things. I also see automakers like General Motors, Fiat Automobiles observe the moments of silence. Not forgetting banks like JP Morgan Chase closing their branches early on the date, that was 19th of June. While banks like Bank of America and Citigroup told workers they can take personal day. I'm also impressed with the government of New York, Mayor of New York City, and the government of Virginia formalizing the holiday. I mean, that's so beautiful. I mean, we have Jewish holidays here in New York. It's about time we have, Juneteenth holiday. If you all celebrate, and I don't know, I know it's taking so long, but I can understand. But I'm happy that we are finally getting there. I think we should have been here a long time ago. Now, this is very good. I mean, it's long overdue, like I said. But what I like to see goes beyond observance. I like us to use this moment and this day to work together and ensure that we pass laws that protect and appreciate black lives. I like to see laws and community activities that is directed at empowering the black people economically. I also like the public perception of the black people in the media to change for good. And lastly, I like to see community leaders working tirelessly to encourage family union and togetherness in the black community. I firmly believe it's going to take a while to fix centuries of degradation, lack, and psychological oppression, but we can start now. I firmly believe these things. I firmly believe it's going to take a while, but we can start from where we are right now. I've always said it, I remember when Michael Jordan, donated $100 million. That's a lot of money to this cause. And he said that he wants a lot of money. I think he said he wants a good chunk of the money to go towards educating the black people. I think education is key. Not that we are not educated, but I think understanding where we come from is key, and I think we are doing that a lot in New York City. I can tell you that firsthand because I went to college here in the city. I think encouraging family culture is also very important. I think we need community leaders, like I said, and I think we need to work tirelessly to actually lifting black people out of poverty. That will go a long way to fixing our societal broken system and the way we live our lives. But I'd like to leave us with this quote I stumbled on New York Times. It says, "Only those feigning blindness fail to see the body of work we are, and the work of body we have done. Everything is what it is because of us." And on that note, I leave you. I am Hassan. Thanks for listening to Astropods. Bye for now.